It's alright.
Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Moxsy here in our Borderlands 3 video, and today we have my MAYHEM 10 Moze build. Now this is one of two builds that I've been working on. This build is a deathless build and slaps MAYHEM 10. It is extremely strong, it's practically unkillable, and what I mean by it slaps MAYHEM 10 is it is a fish slap grenade Moze build. This is one of the more creative builds that I've ever done, and I'm extremely happy to share it with you guys. So let's get into everything that you guys need to know about Sea Monster Moze. First off, the underlying crazy synergy here that allows us to destroy MAYHEM 10 is, first off, we're using, while under 50% health, deal 150% bonus radiation damage anointment. This is a new anointment, and it is extremely strong. Extremely strong. Notice we're going to be doing bonus radiation damage, just like with Zane. That makes cryo weapons a great option here. I don't have great gear for this build, honestly, guys. I don't have great things to show off, but I do have solid stuff, and it's enough to make the build crush OP10. So with better gear improvements, it's only going to get crazier. But cryo weapons with this anointment are awesome because cryo is good against armor, rad is good against shields, and they're both neutral against health. But this anointment is extremely strong, and we're using our new weapons, the OPQ system, the Sandhawk, the Yellow Cake, the Monarch, to decimate with this anointment. Now, in terms of how we're staying live, we're using a Bloodletter class mod. Now, this converts any health regen or lifesteal into shield regen, or shields. So we're pairing that with a Knife Drain Deathless. Deathless means that we're going to increase our shield capacity, but we're using Knife Drain, which imbues our melee with lifesteal. As the melee attacks return a portion, or all melee attacks return a portion of the damage dealt as health, and we're pairing that with a Fish Slap Grenade. The Fish Slap Grenade does melee damage, so now we can throw the Fish Slap Grenade to get our shields back, which is crazy, because Fish Slap will heal us, and that healing is converted into shields. This allows us to throw the Fish Slap Grenade and get our full shield back, which is crazy. Now, most Bloodletter builds in the past have gone to Vampire. Because we're using this method, we don't need to go to Vampire, which allows us to take a different build route, go towards more damage, and allows for a lot more different options with the Deathless build. Deathless builds have done before. I don't like Deathless builds, but I love this synergy, and it's made me really start to enjoy the playstyle and how this works. Now, in terms of our trees, the red tree and the green tree both got very recent buffs. We're picking up those buffs, which are actually very nice and allow us to survive quite well. Now, in terms of the red tree, we're going armored infantry for gun damage and damage reduction. This is always going to be up because our shields are always active, so great pickup here. Thin red line is going to increase our shields, which is very great. Drowning in Brass is an extremely strong gun damage skill, giving us 60% gun damage at 3 kills, which will be very easy for us to get. We're getting max shield and recharge shield rate and resistances to shock damage with Flat Off Ingenuity. This was also recently buffed, so this is a great pickup. Experimental Munitions is going to give us bonus incendiary damage whenever we score a critical hit. Desperate Measures is going to give us gun damage. Now, these are our gun damage skills. Drowning in Bash is going to give us 60% gun damage. Desperate Measures, with my class mod right now, I'm up to 67%. So over 120% increased gun damage. Then Phalanx Doctrine is going to give us 18% gun damage per stack and max shields plus 27 per stack. Hop out of Iron Bear, get a few kills, and you have crazy amounts of shields, crazy gun damage. Force Feedback was also recently buffed. Now, whenever we score a critical hit, we immediately get shield recharge, but we also restore 10% of our max shield value. So whenever you score a critical hit, you're going to get instant 10% back, with high fire rate weapons like the Q system, like the Monarch, or the OPQ system. You are able to regen your shield very, very quickly, passively, without throwing your grenades, which is awesome. So this is a great pickup. In terms of our green tree, we're getting Cloud of Lead, free incendiary damage, and not consuming shot. Stoke the Embers to increase our incendiary damage, and we're doing decent incendiary damage with experimental munitions. Scorching RPMs for that fire rate, critical hit damage, and Iron Bear damage. Iron Bear doesn't really do anything on Mayhem 10, so kind of ignoring that. We're just picking this up for the fire rate and critical hit damage. We're grabbing Scrappy while moving. Moze's weapon damage, handling weapon swap, and mode swap speeds are increased. This recently got a 30% added weapon damage, so this build is, we're going to be on the move pretty much all the time, and to complement us being on the move, getting handling, weapon swap speed, mode swap speed, we're picking up rushing offensive. The rushing offensive now gives us lifesteal. The weapons that we're using, and we're hitting for so much damage that if your shield ever gets low, besides throwing your grenades, you can sprint forward and shoot a little bit, and it'll bring you to full shields, especially if you're using strong hitting weapons like a Yellow Cake, like a Sandhawk. Just a quick little sprint and a shot, and you will be full, which is awesome. Now we're not going Iron Bank, we're not going match set. It hurts me. I want ammo regen. Trust me, I want bigger mag size. I want click. But we're saving that for other build. We've got another build that I hit on Moze for 903 million damage the other day. One of the strongest Mayhem 10 boss killing builds. That'll be out later. This is more of a mobbing build. But we're grabbing some for the road here. Now, some for the road allows us to do these weapons, such as the Sandhawk, such as the Yellow Cake, use up a lot of ammo. And when we have some for the road, we can spam them out at bosses, at enemies, which is extremely nice. And with the OPQ, there is an interaction where if we're in its secondary fire mode, when we jump into Iron Bear and use some for the road, we can then spam out its other guns to shoot for us. Now this is going to give us a crazy amount of damage, but the most important thing with this is, or one of the very cool things, is you can do that, spam out your OPQs, and then run. While you're running and shooting, all of those weapons will be doing lifesteal for you with rushing offensive. So if you're ever low, if you need health, or if you're about to go into a big battle, so you can spawn a bunch, run, and while you're running around shooting things, those OPQs will be healing you, making you pretty much unkillable. So that is why we're going some for the road with rushing offensive. And very lastly, we're going into the blue tree for fire in the Skag Den, where Moze deals splash damage, so it deals bonus incendiary damage. Now, we could totally avoid the blue tree if it wasn't for Means of Destruction. Now, Means of Destruction is going to give us our grenades back, and we need our grenades back because our Fish Slap helps us stay alive. By throwing it, we're going to get our full shield back. So, in order to regen those grenades, we're going Means of Destruction. Whenever we do splash damage, there's a chance to add ammo to a currently equipped weapon with a smaller chance to return a grenade. That means that splash damage weapons are the best in slot here, but we don't absolutely need to use splash because we're not super focused on splash. The back burner also worked great with this build. This is a very, very versatile Moze build. You can put on pretty much anything you want. I do recommend going towards the new weapons because the new weapons are extremely strong and make Mayhem 10 pretty easy. In terms of the modifiers that I've been running on this build, I haven't nailed down what modifiers I love, but Roguelite, we no longer enter fight for life. That's not a problem because we're not going to die. Ticked off status effect against enemies is reduced by 90%. We're not a status effect build, so that doesn't really matter. Speed Demon is going to give us our movement speed, which is really nice to move around quickly and stay alive. And then Freeze Tag, not my favorite, but it's fine. I really like these other things. So those are the modifiers that I've been running. And yeah, last thing for shields, you could use a front loader, you can use an old guide, you can use a big boom blaster. The Band of Sidorak got patched into low level shield, so don't use that anymore. The Transformer He's another great option with shock damage if you want to go for like the shock healing route. And yeah, overall, this is an extremely strong build. This anointment, while under 50% health, deal 150% bonus radiation damage, by the way, applies to everything. So it applies to your melees, your grenades, any damage that you do will get this 150% bonus radiation damage, which is also extremely, extremely strong. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. Not my most traditional build video because, one, my face isn't it, and we didn't have any like crazy intro. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this style of build video, and I hope you guys get this build going. Obviously, there's a lot of room for improvement. I got level 50 class mod, knife trade with no bonuses. We do have some solid weapons, but it performs on Mayhem 10 just great. It really is strong. If you guys learned something new, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace!